Ladies and gentlemen, it's hump day. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday. You guys already know what it is, man. Just keeping it funky, broadcast to you live from a hump day. I hope everybody's getting some action today. Meanwhile, I'm going to do what I do best. But to flip it to more of a less exciting side, and we're going to bring it to another side of this right here. Because basically, if all presidents can have the State of the Union, well, that must mean I can have the State of the Union as well. So, with that being said, it's a few things, ladies and gentlemen, that I would like to personally address. And of course, there's a few presidential candidates that's not safe on this show today. But first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I got 3 topics that we're going to break down today. For all my people out here that yell goals for everything, you guys are on the chopping block for today. Now, this ain't no regular State of the Union like the presidents. They got everything from facts to details. No. This is going to be something that you guys are all going to probably be like, Lord, he done it again. Let's go ahead and get started, though. For all my people that put goals in front of everything. Yes. Relationship goals, friendship goals, life goals, BFF goals, car goals, heck, whatever else, job goals, kids goals, marriage, whatever it is, whatever goals you guys can think of. Listen, these things, ladies and gentlemen, are called goals for a reason. You make these things happen. I'm so sick and tired of somebody seeing a post and be like, goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, relationship goals is the biggest one. They can be like, I want a girl that's like, you know what I'm saying? She cook, she loyal, and she playful. Or I just want a playful relationship. I want a relationship where we can be best friends and lovers. That's relationship goals. Those things, ladies and gentlemen, are not just going to happen. Those things are not going to just fall out of the sky like, Lord, bring me a girl that do all those things. Boom, she pop up right in front of you. It's not going to happen. People got life goals, like where I want to be in 10 years. I got a private jet. I got a mansion. I got 2 kids, and I got about 4 cars. That's life goal. That's where I want to be in 10 years. But yet, you still working at Safeway. So what does that tell you? You want that goal to happen? You make it happen. Now listen here. I ain't trying to sit up here and tell you guys that it don't hurt to dream. Everybody dreams about something. Everybody wake up and dream, be like, yeah, I want to own a private jet one day. But you make it happen. If you don't make it happen, you just blowing smoke. It's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just a dream. You just talking. You ain't going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Make your actions speak louder than your words. You want to have all them things in 10 years? You work for them things. Okay? I'm so sick and tired of seeing people put goals. Friendship goals. I want people that we can have fun, no drama. Like, no, have fun, no drama, can kick back and just chill. But yet, your circle is full of people that's always gossiping or that's always in drama. Beefing with some girl on social media. Somebody don't like your baby mama or your baby father or something like that. That's who you keep in your circle, but this is your goal over here. So at the end of the day, do you see the scenario here? Do you see it? It just don't add up, do it? You got your circle over here. These girls are doing all these things. These girls and guys doing all these things that you don't want. But yet yet your goal is over here. I don't understand. I just don't understand. I just, listen, All I'm telling you people now is when you say goals, you make them happen. Your goal is to own a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or Bugatti or any of them exotic cars, McLaren, whatever. By all means, you work for it. Them cars are not cheap. Them cars are just not going to fall from the sky and just be like, Lord, all I wish is I had a Lamborghini. You wake up the next morning, ready to go to work, the Lamborghini is sitting in the parking lot. No, it's not going to happen like that. I'm going to need you guys to get up, get out, and get something. Go do something with your life. Okay? Go do something positive. Now, granted, you work at Safeway. You work, at Kmart. You try to move up. Try to be, in the corporate office or something like that. If that's what you're trying to do, by all means, knock yourself out. But at the end of the day, if yet you sit back and complain about, I want this, I want that, I want this to be my goal, I want that to be my goal, you're sitting back complaining all day long, and you never do anything to make anything happen. By all means, I'm going to tell you like this. You're basically just talking. You're wasting your time. And one thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, is I don't like my time to be wasted. Don't talk to me about a whole bunch of goals that you ain't going to finna accomplish. On that note, if anybody, feels different, by all means, I'm going to be here for you. By all means, we are going to keep it funky as always. You dig, players? That's how we get down. Now, what was I about to say next? Before I just, I think, that topic kind of threw me off a little bit because I got so heavy into it. You know what I'm saying? It got all heavy. But, to all my people, man, to true honesty of keys to success. The real keys to success, man, you find something you want to do, you do it. It ain't about what your parents want you to do. It ain't about what your friends want you to do. You do what you want to do. Now, the reason I'm coming to you guys about this keys to success, it's simply not the DJ Khaled, another one. No. We get into a more real topic. The keys to success, I want you guys to understand is simply this. This life is hard. It's only going to get harder. You do what you got to do. Yeah, of course I work, crappy 9-to-5 job. I'm trying to one day, I have my own podcast. I do more broadcasting than ever. That's all I do is broadcast everything. Microphones, all that. I don't buy all the microphones and stuff, but I do put a lot of broadcasting together. But this is what I want to do. Some of this stuff you got to start from the ground up. And I understand that. You want to be a doctor? Be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer? Be a lawyer. I think the most understanding, the most touching story I've ever heard was I was watching somebody broadcast. And as I was just watching her broadcast. But when she just came out the blue and just said, I quit my job to broadcast. I was like, let me stop the train. She clearly came out her mouth and said, I quit my job to broadcast. Now, let me stop you guys right there. It ain't even the fact that she quit. It ain't the fact that she broadcast. Because she's an amazing broadcaster. You know what I'm saying? She's off the top. She got a big, crazy fan base now. Because, truth be told, that's dedication. But it's just a simple fact that you quit your job. Like, you had enough heart, enough dedication to say, okay, this is going to take off. I need to get this done. That right there alone, for you to quit your job and walk away from your job where you're bringing in money. Now, yeah, she gets paid to be a broadcaster. I'm not saying she doesn't. But it's just a simple fact that you quit your job. If I quit my job tomorrow to say, you know what, I'm going to pursue this podcast full time. Yes, I'm doing both podcasts, radio, broadcast, whatever. I'm doing all this in one. So when one thing start to grow, one thing start to pop off, boom, I'm going to take off with it. If it ever happens. And it probably will. But in the meantime, I'm not going to just drop everything to focus on podcasting. That's just like a rapper, you know? You want to be a rapper, you dedicate yourself to rapping. You perfect your craft. Okay? Every rapper today has studied a rapper from the past. They don't sound like them, but they studied them. Every singer, same way. How many singers out you know? One of their favorite singers is probably Whitney Houston. How many rappers today that's out now say they didn't idolize Tupac? Look at the success. You look at somebody like Kendrick. You know? His biggest idol is Tupac. He don't necessarily sound like Tupac. Does he have a similar style to Tupac? Yeah, kinda. That's what makes him successful. Sometimes you guys gotta understand, be the key to success. Sometimes you gotta start literally from the ground up. You gotta be from the underground before you get that spotlight. Nobody's just gonna throw you in the spotlight and then be like, okay, get it done. I look at my podcast every day. I can tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, in the area that I live in, or the state that I live in, half the people probably don't even know who I am. They probably look at me like, what? I can go to somebody right now and be like, yeah, man, you listen to my podcast, my weekly podcast? What? Exactly. They don't know who I am. But every day, every time I put out this broadcast, I'm seeing fan base from California to even overseas, international. You know, even if I walk past somebody and somebody say, hey, yo, this podcast dude, this dude's hilarious, man. I mean, who you listening to? Man, this kid Sir Falconers. You know, I'm not going to say him off the top and be like, yeah, I'm Sir Falconers. But I'm going to be like, oh yeah, man, what are you talking about? Hey, man, he's talking about some real life stuff. You got to start small. Some of your favorite radio hosts, everything, they didn't just, boom, get the job in front of the microphone on the camera. Just, all right, you work here now, grab a mic, we go live in about 10 minutes. No. Some of these record labels, everything, for anybody that's out there and want to pursue anything that I say, you know, you want to own your own record label, sometimes you got to work behind the scenes to get where you want to be. That's just natural. You might got to be in the back stacking CDs. You might got to be in the back getting the latest song in rotation. Your job every day probably is like, yo, this song is hot, put it in rotation. That's probably what they pay you to do. Meanwhile, you see the people that's in the big room doing the radio station with all the celebrities that you want to meet. Sometimes